I had this art show, and I wanted more people in the local area to see it. So I rented a booth at the powwow and at Riverfront Park, and I just wanted to show it off. I mean, like I wanted to make money too, but you know, I wanted people to see these works. I had spent a whole year working on the show, and I had like a plethora of things, and it was just like, you know, all kinds of different stuff. And then I took string and I wrapped it across the trees in order to create like these artificial bridges that we could string paintings on, and so they were just strung up. So I made a gallery right there. When I was throwing it up, everybody was like, "What are you doing, man? Are you making a dream catcher?" You know, and I was like, "No," you know. And so I ended up saying, "Hey, man, that would be a cool idea because if you'd be like on a massive scale, you know, and what could you do with that? What could you do with that dream catcher? I mean, you don't want to be cliche. It's so cliche. In the local area, everybody always has dream catchers on their rearview mirrors, and I'm like, wake up, people! What are you doing? You know, like, come on, let's what? Why are you driving around like this? It's so cliched, you know. And I said it would be a great idea if you could do it like an installation piece. Like, what would be the purpose of it? What does a dream catcher do? You know. And so I wanted everybody to write their dreams down. And I had been gifted a eagle, and so I had all these prayer ties that I had been making, and I took everybody's dreams and I tied them with the eagle feather, the prayer feather, and then at the end of the night, I had like, you know, thousands and thousands of, maybe not thousands and thousands, but a lot of people, maybe close to 1,000, it was just under 1,000, I'm sure, and I cut them all down, and we took all those dreams and we put them outside and lit them on fire with money. And then I lit all the dreams on fire, and I was singing a song with a rattle. And so the next day, or the next year, I took that same concept, because say everybody's dreams collectively were to be, you know, they're all individualized and and they seem like different, but ultimately there's like a specific energy. Like, this is collectively what the consciousness is of our planet. This is our society. These are what people are dreaming about. And what are you doing with that energy? You know, I wanted to unite them all. Let's have the same vision. So the year afterwards, the next year, I wanted everybody's dreams to culminate to something. I want them to mean, you know, something. And so I use this symbol, and this symbol is, you know, it's the symbol for the elevation of consciousness. You know, I mean, it depends on who you ask, you know, but the way I look at it and the way that, you know, it sort of comes to me is that, you know, it says there's 7 different levels of consciousness. What it is that we come back from. Ultimately, we are the creator. You know, this is traditional speaking. Ultimately, we are the creator coming back to learn that we are in this infinite loop, that we are creation, and we are these things. So we go through different, as we separated from creation itself, we had to go through separate levels until we ultimately return back to the same point, right? Complicated, but each level has different levels of consciousness. So you have, like, you know, if we separate from the infinite source in order to experience what it is to be, at first, you know, from different levels, from what it is to be a mineral, what it is to be a rock, you know, what it is to be substance, what it means to feel, you know, what is that end, what it is to just be, what it is to just be, you know. And as we perceive it, we could see that there would be like a mineral, like a rock, you know, like stone. Like, this is energy that's from the infinite source that we are able to embrace from what it is to just be in, you know, separate. And so the second level, you don't forget the lower stuff. You incorporate and you evolve, and ultimately you gather them all up together, and they just keep evolving, you know. And the second level would be what it is not only to be, but to separate yourself from, or not to separate. It's like what it is to be, but what it is also to live and to die. You know, what it is to grow these things, and that's what you get from like a plant life sense. You know, that sense of consciousness, that energy, that frequency, whatever. That this is like, you know, that experience. And then third level, third level of consciousness, the third world, right? The third dimension. This is where we dwell, and that's coming from your solar plexus in a yellow dot, right? And that itself is something that we're outdated. I mean, it's like an old thing. So you pull yourself up, and from the fourth world, from your fourth level of consciousness, you're thinking from your heart, and your heart itself is like how you connect, you feel. This is empathy. This is love. This is all of these different things, and it's really important for us to get to that point, because this is all separation, right? We're all separate. We're separate from creation. We are separate from each other. We have ego in this idea. We're separate, and in the fourth world, you start to see, thinking from your heart, that you have a connection. That connection is back. It's a return. It's a return back to unity. It's a return to connection, because you're able to communicate from frequency, from energy, from love, from energy, from frequency. However you want to phrase it. And that I wanted to sort of show that evolution of consciousness. And the symbol itself, I had tattooed on my arm so that I would always do it. So this image, I was like, it's like the evolution of consciousness. You're thinking it's that stepping out in that seven world, seven dimensional level, whatever it is, 7 classroom things. Then it becomes like, you see the explanation for how it goes, and I wanted everybody to do that. So collectively, I wanted everybody to make this image, and so this is it.
Sky.